Hey, this is Stephen Klein with Theragoods, and I've got Robbie Bessner joining us, our Chief Science Officer. Robbie, I figured that now would be a good time for you to talk about how to restore the pineal gland. We did an interview talking about how fluoride has a really bad impact on our pineal gland. So if you can kind of quickly summarize what the function of the pineal gland is, where it's located in the brain, what it means. I know that it's kind of looked at as a third eye, and the third eye helps you with being centered and aware, kind of connects everything. But I'll let you, if you don't mind, kind of review that and then get into how we can restore the damage to the pineal gland that these environmental toxins do, that fluoride does, and other things that are out there. That would be awesome, because I know I need to restore mine.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm honored again, as usual, to be called away and to come on and just describe for a few minutes these various different technical points, because when you add them all up, Stephen, they really amount to general health and wellness. And so people don't understand that the fluorides are a chemical waste that at some point some genius a few years ago, probably 20 years ago, decided rather than dumping it into our water systems that they'd actually use it in the dental industry. Grabbed onto that, and they said, okay, well, fluorides kill bacteria, and so we can somehow come up with some system where it actually helps tooth decay. And so now they were advocating for the longest time, put it into our water systems. And also, in the dental industry, there's actually tubes of fluorides you can use on your teeth and so forth. But what's the bad part? The bad part is that the fluorides go right into your bloodstream, and the fluorides wind up being filtered and encrusting the surface of a very important gland called the pineal gland. And it's a gland that's about the size of a walnut. And it sits right basically in the center of your brain. And what it principally does is it regulates the two very, very important hormones. One's called melatonin, the other one is serotonin. Melatonin is the sleep hormone that when your body winds down at the end of the day, melatonin is produced, and that sort of puts the body into a relaxed state. And as you know, sleep is way important. Yeah. And then the other part is the serotonin. That starts to be emitted when the pineal gland, this little gland that is light sensitive, actually, metaphysically, it's called the third eye. And the reason for anatomically why that is the same cells as our eyeball cell, less the lens. So they're light sensitive cells that actually can sense the sunrise. And when the body or the brain or this gland senses the sunrise, it starts to turn off the melatonin production and turn on the serotonin production, which is your energy. It gets you revived. You feel really anxious and ready to go in the day, So that's what's so important. Now, back to fluorides. Fluorides disrupt that process. It actually causes a crust to go around the pineal gland, and it makes it dysfunctional. So that means that we have a nation that has been fluoride, influxed by fluoride for many years. Their sleep patterns are interrupted, and their energy patterns are interrupted. So that's why we're sluggish, because we're not getting enough sleep, and that really bodes well into a suppressed immune system, which allows pathogens, disease, and all that other bad stuff to come in. So these are all little things. So now how do we reverse that? Well, the first thing is, like most ways, and the smartest guys I know in the healthcare industry, professionals, will say, the first thing they'll say is identify what the source is that's causing the problem and remove the source. So the first thing we got to do is we got to get rid of the fluorides in the water that we drink. Right. And so, we developed a water purification system called Thera H2O. And one of the things that it does that we attack is we take out the particulates almost 100%. I think it's like 98 or 99% of the particles and the bad, the suspended particles that are in the water. So it's clean and clear. And the next thing we take out are chemicals like chlorines and fluorides and so forth that are in our water system, designed for a particular reason, get rid of bacteria and things like that. But in the process of doing that, we're also doing other kinds of harm to our bodies and our systems. So I know we're running a little late in our timing, but that's basically the idea behind it. The remedy is get rid of the chlorine and the fluoride, get rid of the fluoride from the water we drink, but with a system like ours, Thera H2O. And then the body starts to get rid of naturally, we'll start peeling the layers of these fluorides that are encrusted around that pineal gland, making it more functional. Of course, there are some supplements And next time we talk, I'll have some prepared that you can take that will support pineal health. So I would recommend that.
Nice.
But the key is getting rid of the source. So don't drink that tap water. I mean, I think it was Dr. Mercola got up on stage and he said the first thing he said was don't drink tap water anymore. So that's the key. We've also developed another way because, see, that same mechanism that we talked about, which is, you know, the sleep and the waking cycle, that's called your biocycle, essentially, okay? And that bio clock gets thrown off when the pineal gland doesn't function properly. So there are ways, aside from removing the source, you got to get the bio clock back in phase again. And so the way to do that is by light stimulation, and I developed a particular technique using these particular lights. And what I'm doing essentially with these lights is emulating a sunrise. And so when you get up in the morning, if you turn these lights on for 15 minutes and you bring your face close to it, or if you're lucky enough to go out, if you're able to go outside and catch that sunrise, you can bring that light stimulation. This is emulating that light stimulation, and it will augment this biocycle to get back on track. So that's my 2 bits for today. I hope this was important and informationally, beneficial to you. And if you got any other questions, feel free to call.
Thanks, Robbie. I'm just happy that you can, get rid of the bad stuff and restore your pineal gland back to health. You're not just shot because you drank a bunch of fluoride. So that's good news.
No, we can fix all this. We can fix it.
Awesome. All right, Robbie, well, take care. Thank you very much.